My name is Matt Charney, and I am the Senior Manager of Online Brand and Social Media for Cornerstone On Demand.
Hi, I'm Kristen Wright. I'm VP of Marketing for Pinstripe.
My name is Chris Young, and I am the founder and owner of Async Interview.
I'm Bill Glenn, Vice President of Marketing and Alliances with TalentWise.
I'm Jason Lauritsen. I am a partner with Bulletproof Talent.
I am Crystal Miller. You can find me pretty much anywhere online as The One Crystal.
My name's Kurt Ballard, and I'm a principal and the Chief Marketing Officer for ACT Bridge.
Hi, my name is Sara Wright. I am the Principal Strategist of Sara Wright & Associates.
I'm James Thomas. I'm Vice President of Marketing at Talent Technology.
My name is Nikki Newman. I'm the Marketing Director for Lumess Americas.
I think that within the HR marketplace, what online influence really means is the ability to facilitate a meaningful dialogue which drives an action. And whether that action is buying a product or service, or just strengthening a relationship that's already existing, or even starting a conversation to think about new ideas and new approaches, I think that influence is the ability to not only begin that process of dialogue, but also to change perspectives, and in doing so, really build and strengthen relationships.
Online influence means everything to companies like TalentWise, because we need to understand from a marketplace perspective who is creating the influence, who's connecting with the HR buyer and the HR practitioner, and really understanding what are the pains that the HR community is experiencing today, and how good technology companies can solve those pains by listening to the market directly.
The evidence of what you do and who you are and what you're talking to and talking about. So everything that you do leaves a digital footprint, right? If your digital footprint is strong, it gives you influence. People listen to you, they seek you out. They rebroadcast the things that you say, and the amount that happens, I think the culmination of that is social influence.
Online influence is a way of obtaining content in a more real-time fashion than the traditional media outlets that we had been obtaining information in the last decade. So for us, it allows us to get information very quickly from a broader range of sources so that we can make decisions, whether it's through our business or gain business development from areas where we probably wouldn't be getting it in traditional mediums.
I think it's expanded the voice of the people that are helping to build the market and to provide solid solutions to clients that are looking to build better businesses.
There's so many places you can get your information, and so it's not concentrated. There's so many different voices. I think it's much tougher to identify where the credible voices are and where the voices are that aren't as credible, that it has to be confusing for our marketplace to know where to go to get information. So I think certainly the amount of information is shifting how we interpret influence, and I think it's harder to gain influence, frankly. It's harder to be that voice that moves people to action.
Well, you know, it's gone from being a novelty to being a necessity, and I think that's remarkable. No longer can you just market as a one-way shout to the market. You have to be able to engage in a conversation and discuss with the market what it is you do and what it is they need and why you should care. That's why social media really resonates for us.
It's had a big impact. So Pinstripe was definitely an early adopter of social recruiting. Our CEO, Sue Marks, was definitely a pilgrim in that area. And we've been leveraging it to find the best kind of candidates in really hard to fill positions for our clients for years now.
For us, I mean, that's our space. So recruiting, it's allowed. We have a number of clients that use video interviewing as a way of after social recruiting, because social recruiting allows them to target a larger range of candidates from across the world. So many of our clients have a national brand and only a regional recruitment staff. So it allows them to attract that brand that they do have and gain candidates from all over the world.
So in my lifetime as a recruiter, when I started out, really credibility and influence was only as strong as the word of mouth referral that I could get from someone's coworker, their boss, their former boss. And it was very much done on the phone. With social, I can hop online and I can see everything they've written about a particular subject, who they talk to, who they're connected with, how strong those connections are based off of the amount of interaction. These are things that really help with seeing where someone's at in their career. Are they a leader? Are they a follower? Are they just learning? Are they teaching others? Where are they? And that's just monumentally important for an employer, especially for those of us in the talent acquisition realm, agency side especially. I mean, you've got to be able to back up what you're charging.
I work a lot with vendors, and how vendors are using social media and the brand influence and that side of things really has evolved significantly, even just within the last 6 to 12 months. And so the challenge now isn't just about being at the conference or having email marketing blasts go out, but it's really that ongoing everyday engagement with both practitioners and other influencers per se on those social channels.
It's given us an opportunity to really make it personal in terms of who Pinstripe is, what we do, and elevate really the leaders and the contributors within our company to become influencers in the space.
It's about creating an authentic and transparent voice and being able to move from a logo into an identity, and an identity that has to not just broadcast but also engage. So I think the idea of influence has gone from just kind of a top-down approach to more of a bottoms-up approach in terms of if you add value, you will be able to leverage influence. If you don't, then you will soon be ignored.
The outlets that we can get our message to through social media are really limitless. Now, the effectiveness of some of those, that's quantifiable. There's some folks out there that have really got quite a strong following. They've been able to get a word out. They've been able to build an audience and build some credibility. We're hoping to do the same thing.
Well, for us, it's a whole new area that we have to focus on. So beyond writing articles, beyond connecting with analysts, there's this whole network out there that exists through the online social space that becomes an audience that we need to connect with, that they need to understand what we do, we need to understand what their thoughts and processes are. So I think that the whole social scene has far-reaching impact and benefits for us as a vendor trying to build better products for the customers that we're marketing to, because they're more aware as to what's going on in the space. So I think it's basically we've just taken awareness and communication and put it on steroids.
So we predominantly use HRMarketer. So that has become the single source for TalentWise to really understand what is going on in the market, not only from the standpoint of what are the relevant topics, but also using SocialEars, we've started to really understand who are the key influencers and who are the ones who are leading or shaping the market. And that has become the single platform for TalentWise to get all of our information about the market and see what's really trending and what are the hot topics.
We actually are looking at it right now as a way of hopefully consolidating even further, so we can consolidate our Google Alerts, consolidate the Hootsuite or TweetDeck, and then consolidate our RSS feed all into SocialEars. So that is our hope, and that's why we're looking at SocialEars as a potential solution to just consolidate a little bit further and get all of the information in one place.
For us, there's a really big benefit to the aggregation, I would say, of specifically HR influencers in the space. So it saves us a step in terms of identifying who those folks are, because they're already accessible to us through the platform.
I'm a big data guy. We work with workforce analytics, and I think there's power in numbers and data. What I see going on now with SocialEars is an aggregation of data points that'll help us figure out what are the hot trends and topics, where are people thinking about thought leadership, and what are some of the challenges being faced by our target market. It's a great way to put all of that together, find out who the thinkers are, who the contributors are, and it's a great way to solve best practice solutions.
SocialEars is a new technology that I've just had a chance to play around with over the last couple of weeks, but so far it looks really interesting. I think one of the biggest factors for SocialEars is it finally is putting all of those influencers in one place. And it's looking at beyond the traditional, these are the people that are speaking at every conference, or these are the ones that are tweeting the most. It's really looking at a wider spread of influencers, including analysts and practitioners.
But I think there's a tremendous amount of possibility there for an HR marketer, but also I think probably HR in general. It's just, again, talking about all the information is out there. Any tool that can help you distill that and get it down to something that's actually actionable, I think, is an awesome tool.
I had a chance to see SocialEars yesterday, and I have to say I was totally blown away by the functionality. And for me, as a marketing team here in America, it's going to give me an opportunity to go to one single place and find a summary of information that is content rich, topic sensitive, and use that information to do a variety of things.
To me, there was a couple things that were interesting. First is I understood what my influence was relative to everybody else. I understood my influence was good in some topics, but not in the other topics that I wanted to. So really valuable as a personal tool. For our organization, really looking at what's the conversation going on in the market that we weren't part of, and who are the influencers, and we certainly saw some other ones, but I use SocialEars to assess some people I have for upcoming webinars of how influential they are. I had some people last year that were great and built their influence, but this year, really looking at people who already have influence so I can get someone to carry my message for me. So we've used it in practice already. I'm pretty excited about what they're doing, and it kind of justifies the whole element that markets are usually very small with influencers. Finding the right people who make a difference, that's what you find on something like SocialEars.
Social media and social influence, it's a growing field, right? So it's still evolving and there's still some steps to go, but I think this, as far as I've seen, this is probably the best product on the market currently.
I've been using HRMarketer SocialEars recently, and I've been really impressed with that product. It essentially is taking all of this disparate content that's out there within our industry and structuring it in such a way that it's easy to stay on top of trends, and also to be able to not only see people's relative amounts of influence and who's talking about what, but also be able to really untap and identify new potential influencers or people for your networks.
TalentWise is an innovative company, and we look for innovative solutions not only to offer up to our customers, but we're also looking as marketers, good marketers, new and interesting technology that allows us to do our job more efficiently. Marketing doesn't always get the most budget, and marketing doesn't always get the most number of resources to do what we do. So we look for innovative tools like HRMarketer and SocialEars to help us do our job better, and it absolutely makes us more efficient at what we do, but it also allows us to really understand, how do we make good connections with those who are leading leading influencers and thought leaders as it relates to the HR community, and allows us to make connections that we've never been able to make before in a much more seamless fashion.
Where do you go online to gather market research, competitive intelligence, and learn about HR trends that are shaping the industry?
Well, that's easy, Peter.
Yeah, I think so. I know where you go.
I'm gonna have to, of course, say SocialEars as a social listening and an analytics tool. Just putting a lens over the HR B2B space. That's an amazing market research tool that we've developed and that I use on a regular basis every day.
And how is SocialEars different from things like Radian 6 and other social monitoring tools that are out there?
Good question. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of Radian 6 and there's just a myriad of other brand monitoring tools that are out there today that measure like brand sentiment of what people are actually thinking about you online. That plays really well, particularly in the consumer space, in the B2C space. It plays a little bit in the B2B space, but SocialEars is kind of turning that on its head. It's not about brand monitoring, it's about understanding what are the relevant topics that are trending today in your marketplace and the people who are generating that content and driving those conversations. So it becomes, again, a valuable market research tool, competitive intelligence tool, and that's the difference.